Hey church, it is wonderful to be with you, and today our daily hope is rooted in Psalm 88. It addresses, one of the core questions, one of the core experiences that every single one of us encounters at some point, which is the problem of pain, and that question of where is God in the midst of my suffering. One of the things that struck me when I was reading this, because at first I said, this was kind of dark. It's a psalm of lament. And unlike a lot of those, that kind of starts with God's goodness and then describes our brokenness and then ends with a reaffirmation of God's goodness, this one doesn't. This is one of those rare ones that I think is just so honest. It ends almost actually in a fairly kind of melodramatic way. It says, "You have taken from me friend and neighbor. Darkness is my closest friend." And if you're my age or older, you'll probably immediately hear Simon and Garfunkel singing, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," which is an epic song. I went and listened to it after reading this, and it's great. It's not the point, however. It is the point, however, because this is in fact a psalm. One of the things that struck me about this, which I think is a key into God's heart, is before you actually get to the text of it, there's that kind of pretext, and it says, Psalm 88, a psalm of the sons of Korah for the director of music, according to a bunch of Hebrew words that I won't bother trying to pronounce right now. But the point is that this is not a diary, someone's journal entry. This is, in fact, a song written for corporate worship. Because one of the things that we as people of faith have this opportunity to do is to bring the fullness of our lives, our joy and our pain, our hopes and our brokenness before God, and to lift them up together as a people of God in song. That's part of what we do every Sunday when we come together. And we're not used to singing songs like this in church. Because I think oftentimes in the West, we want church to be filled with hope and joy. We want to celebrate the goodness and the beauty of God. And that is right and true. The psalmist starts out, actually, before he brings his pain and complaint, he affirms, "Lord, you are the God who saves me. Day and night I cry out to you." And the thing that's amazing about this psalm is that he's incredibly bold. He doesn't just say, "Oh, all these terrible things have happened to me and I feel so wretched and depressed and abandoned and desolate." He actually takes a step further and says, "God, you've done this to me." Well, if God's done that to you and you don't actually believe that he is good and will do something about it, then why are you praying to him, psalmist? Because he's revealing actually his faith. This psalm reveals that we can bring the fullness of our humanity and our brokenness. I know that for me, I actually got a note in my Bible in the margins, 11/8/18, October 18th. It said, "I have cried and lived this psalm," because I have been through a time where this psalm put words to the anguish that I was experiencing in my soul, the sense of desolation, of being outside of the presence of God, his love and his comfort, and worrying that in fact God had put me into that place. Now, with wisdom and retrospect, I can see actually that God was most present with me in those moments, even though it felt like he was nowhere to be seen. And during that time, this psalm was such a comfort for me to be able to read and to see myself inside of the story of God. And more than that, a song that was sung by the people of God. We need that richness if we're going to survive, because it's not just happy, happy, joy, joy all the time. Life is full of this heartache, and God is in it with us. And that, my friends, is good news. It is a great hope that you can be a little bit dramatic, like I can be sometimes. You can end by saying, "Darkness is my closest friend." But God has not abandoned you. He's sitting there with you in the dark. He is good. He's moving out to find you, to find me, friends. That is a message of hope for us today. That's a message of hope that we can offer and we can embody to our friends, to our family, and to a broken world. So God bless you today with the knowledge and the experience of God's delight and his presence in your life. And May you move in power to be a people of hope and encouragement to every single person that you encounter today. God bless you, church.